And we are live! Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Isle of the Damned, episode 9. Today I'm joined by my lovely players as we come through a horrific and terrifying journey through the ancient era of the Dark Ages. We find out what goes bump in the night. And what goes bump in the night is bad.
Is it bad?
Generally.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to go through our introduction of our players, and this time we are going to start with Thomas. Why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be playing Sheriff Randolph of Clan Gangrel, newly appointed.
Very nice. Next up, the one who is appointed said sheriff. Blue, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Blue, and tonight I will be playing. I'm gonna sneeze, actually. That's not who I'm
I am
playing.
gonna sneeze.
I'm gonna sneeze actually is a
I'm
good
playing I'm Gonna
Sumise name.
Sneeze.
I'm gonna
No.
sneeze CC's.
Sneeze, sneeze.
Tonight I will be playing Prince Gwyneth of Peel, little Zamitsu friend.
Very nice. And next up, we have Drew. Why don't you introduce us to your noble knight of a character?
Oh, he's noble now? That's gonna be a problem. Hi, I'm Drew, and I'm playing Sir Oliver the Templar. Yes, it didn't start that way, but that's where it's ended up, so we're happy.
All right. Next up, Mars. Why don't you introduce us to our little Valkyrie?
Yeah, alright. I'm Mars, and I am playing Maud, the Aramanes. She is just a little Valkyrie.
Just a little Valkyrie.
That
And
is it.
last, but certainly not least, dear Rebecca, please introduce us to the most holiest of sisters.
Oh, hello. My name is Rebecca, and I will be playing Sister Iris, the Lasombra. And you know, she's here and trying her best.
All right. And last but certainly not least, I am your storyteller, aka the CatsMeow. And yeah, a little bit of a recap. Last week's episode, for those who have seen it, would have noticed that the sound is a little bit off, in that I am very loud and my players are very quiet. I will be releasing an updated version where I have fixed the sound very soon. So a fixed sound version of episode 8 shall be gracing the YouTube channel in due time. Until then, let's tell a vampire story.
Yeah.
Enough us.
Let's do it.
And let's start off with
Music.
Yeah.
some music.
I was trying to be good and not bring it up this time.
I think I can afford to turn this up a little bit. All right. Session 9. Preamble. In the year 936 AD, the Isle of Man trembles beneath the weight of two titanic forces. At the cliffs of Douglas stood a figure draped in golden regalia, his blade gleaming with purpose, a ruler of poise and discipline. The lion, a symbol of order and sovereignty, He commanded respect, not just through fear, but through an unyielding belief in the strength of unity and civilization. Then, across the sea came a wolf, fierce and untamed, heralded by the howl of long ships and the crashing of waves, cloaked in the raw power of the wild. This force demanded reverence through blood and fire, invoking the old gods and the primal fury of the North. The vision unfolds like a tapestry of conflict. The lion's court, filled with quiet whispers and calculated alliances, juxtaposed with the wolf's feral hunts through the forest, where loyalty is forged in the heat of the hunt. Their struggle spills into the night, a battle not just for the land, but the very isle itself. Fire and steel dance beneath the pale moonlight. The harbor burned as shadows of warriors clashed. The lion and the wolf circle one another, each strike a testament to the unrelenting nature of their ideals. Civilization against chaos, strategy against instinct, control against freedom. But as the battle reached its peak, the night consumes them both. For when dawn broke, neither the lion nor the wolf remained. Only silence and the blood-soaked cliffs. Their armies scattered, their followers left to wonder if their rulers had truly perished, or if the shadow of the isle still held them. The isle bears these scars into this very night, a land shaped by an ancient conflict, yet haunted by the mysteries of their fate. And in the silence of ancient hills, their whispered names, lion and wolf, still stir the blood of those who run in the dark. And with that, we return to a familiar council room. At this point, days have passed. You have been waiting for the return of the odd Malkavian, Lady Tuat, to respond back to you. But she has yet to. And the day that you have scheduled to visit the Prince of Douglas continues to grow near. And you have a chance to discuss your plans.
Didn't she agreed to come visit? I thought she
She
did.
did.
She did.
Folks went to her house. Okay, alright. She just didn't do that.
She might be coming later, or she might have lied or forgotten. You can never really tell.
What's time? Honestly, that's very relatable.
At the moment, a limited resource, but for now, I would like to ask specifically, while I'm there, you wanted a kind of view of the whole thing, as if from that of a bird. That's still something that you wish, and it is something I can do and fairly easily too.
Yes, I would like that.
Understood?
Most useful.
And in addition to that, shall I accompany you as sheriff and or guard, or would you prefer if my low clan and somewhat lowly demeanor were not present for a meeting with this venture.
So let's go together.
As you wish, my prince. Beyond that, does anyone have any suggestions or last-minute arrangements or additions to our travel plans?
Oh, I didn't have anything in mind.
I believe that we have secured what we need as far as resources to go. The last thing was just making sure that everything was tied up here.
Hmm.
Would we be bringing along some herd for the trek? Or will we be hunting along the way?
That's a fair question.
It will depend on those of you with herds or specific modes of feeding, but we should keep our numbers to a minimum so our speed can be at its maximum. That said, it's entirely up to you. I'm content to feed off of the wild, though not all of you have the same luxury.
Above the table question ST. You said last session that you're gonna have us reroll blood. That might have a bearing on whether there's herd coming or not.
True. That is true.
Fair enough point. All right, you guys can roll for blood now.
Cool.
Which is what, a D10?
Roll d10.
7, which becomes
You add half.
Oh,
10.
10.
All right.
I mean, I could eat before we leave, but, and indeed I think we all should, but the trek is not likely to be overly long.
Eh?
I should know this, but what does a roll of 6 end up with me at?
It'd be 9.
Depending on your generation.
No, it's just that, but I know he's got a merit that I do as well.
Mm.
Yep.
And we are how many weeks into game now?
About a week. About 2 weeks.
I'm gonna top off with herd then.
All right.
So then
Randall,
4 would get me 4 blood points.
Yeah.
if I might
Yes.
speak with you alone before we make ready to leave, there's a
Oh, oh.
discussion I wish to have with you.
Also, just a note to my players: please also update the blood that on your token.
Yes.
Yes.
I will update yours, Drew, so you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you, ST.
And it's
Also, just double checking, 10 is just 10, right? Or is that?
10 is just
Yeah.
10 blood, yeah.
And it's just 10.
Yeah, cool. Thought I would triple check.
Which one of us did you want to meet with privately?
you, Sheriff.
I'd be happy to.
I will go down and make sure that everything is ready for our leaving.
Excellent.
Alrighty. Unless there's anything else that needs to be done within the council, I shall meet with the prince.
Whoever that may be. Alright. Fixed. I don't know. We go into a side chamber or meet at another time. And Gwyneth is going to he looks a little awkward for a moment. and then says, all of these portents of shadows and demonic spirits, I thought maybe we could speak about something we talked about long ago. Now, I know you have an unfortunate situation with not your memory, but the memory others have of you. And my guess is the nature of that is not specifically known to you.
It isn't. Your grandsire did a great deal in illuminating the situation, but even so, it was more ominous than concrete, I'd say.
As these predictions come to light, does it make you think perhaps it might have something to do with your problem?
Oh, aye, most certainly. The moment these portents were spoken by someone other than Maud, it made me believe that the chickens were coming home to roost. That this demon of shadow is the one that haunts my very steps. The one which I will wring the life out of, if it kills me to do it. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
But do you know it is a demon of shadow that eats your memories?
I do not know. I know it is something very sinister. I know it is something dark, and I know it's something dangerous. But as to its specific nature, I'm as much in the dark as anyone, truly.
I must confess, and I say this to you alone, trust your discretion, I too have had encounters with shadowy something in my past.
I see. I do not blame you for keeping this matter private, but it is disturbing. Is it the same affliction? For I remember you well, and indeed, if you suffered from precisely the same thing, your rulership of Peel would be much different indeed.
The effect is not the same. My acquaintance is more personality, which I encountered some years ago, who continues to plague me from time to time. Mostly harmless for now, but certainly has been biding its time, and I do worry that this might be the sort of event it's waiting for.
The patient hunter gets his prey. What is it?
The being I encountered claims to be god of the underworld. In my culture, of course, this is blasphemous and not true, but it knows enough of me and my background to choose such a form. If it were truly one of our old gods, would not need to bide its time, as it were, would not need to ask permission. It did recently ask me for a vessel. Of course I denied. But it is disturbing, given some of the portents recently.
Aye. Particularly those relating to a vessel.
Very much.
This creature, is it ephemeral or does it have a form that can be touched, that can bleed?
This is a good question. We had some contact when we first met, so to speak, but was not. It was not as you or I might have contact. It was more of a shadow in the shape of a man.
I see why this worries you. The shadows, the portents of doom, the talk of vessels. I do not believe them to be a coincidence.
No,
Whatever
I
this
agree.
creature is, I believe out of the two of us, perhaps you have the better chance of immediately dealing with it. What with your abilities. However, whatever it is, be it spirit, be it god, be it demon, anything can die. It's one of the first lessons that my sire taught me.
If
We
it
just
cannot
don't quite know how
die,
to
I
do it
think
yet.
perhaps it can be sealed away. When I first came upon it, it did seem to be sealed somewhere, and the actions I took at the time may have unintentionally released it. We must simply find a way to seal it again.
Well, mistakes happen. If it happened once before, it can happen again. But I'm not quite an expert on the spiritual side of things. For that, Maud might be a better bet.
Dudley could do with some research being put in. Perhaps the Tremere can be of some help in this.
I suppose.
I do not intend to give him the particulars.
Indeed. But any advantage we can get over these interlopers onto this island, into this plane, it is something that we should take. It's good of you to tell me this. And indeed, though we do not suffer from the same affliction, they are cousins in a way.
We have the same source. It's hard to say.
Indeed.
Worry about this.
Stab these things. Oh, sorry, you go, my prince.
Needing a vessel. I don't think I can deny it a vessel without knowing more about what it needs. That concerns me.
I mean, unless it gives you anything, there's no reason to give it a vessel in the first place. And even if it offers you the moon and the stars, you should deny it too. If this thing's got no form,
but
good.
Can it take a vessel without our permission? That's the concern. Maybe looking for particular circumstances. And so I will be doing what I can to find out more, and both of us likely should remain vigilant.
Aye, as you say, my friends.
Though I know you always do, Randolph.
Oh yeah, he is very paranoid.
He stays ready.
But yes, you've given him another thing to be jumpy about, but he definitely does internalize it. And I think either this section or this session or the next, I might be buying Occult 1.
I mean,
That is all. I have no more news for now. I thought it best if I was not the only one who knew of this.
Indeed so. That said, given, well, the rest of the council are those we trust, it wouldn't be a bad idea to inform them. It would be best if they were informed after we knew that it wasn't a threat, however.
Yes, I think for now, we shall keep this between us, and perhaps I will speak with Maud soon.
Aye. Between Maud and Sister Iris, they've got spirit and shadow on lock.
Yes, I've thought of that. But well, let us prepare to leave. Does not seem our Alcavian will be joining us before then.
Aye. If she appears, she'll appear right as we're leaving. Octavians. He goes off into Scottish mumbling.
Just so.
But yes, if that's everything,
Alright,
That's
then.
it.
I'm gonna kill your fucking demon. I'm gonna kill it for you. I'm gonna present you with
do.
its body.
That would be great fun.
If only we knew people who knew spirits and shadow manipulation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I recommended you. You're the
I
subject matter
know.
experts.
I'll also ask one of my players to check how the Twitch stream is doing.
Oh, let me take a quick look.
It seems fine. Let me mute really quick.
Yep, I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Sure.
It seems
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
Alright, good to know.
Maybe a yes. Volume I think sounds even.
Alright, good. 'Cause my bitrate is skyrocketing. So I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just don't acknowledge it, Mark. It'll go away.
Anyway. I think with that, we're going to do one thing as we kind of begin to form the plans of what is going next. Let's figure out who's going to the city and who's staying behind.
Thought we're all going.
I thought we were all going as well.
You all
Unless
are,
there's any.
But there are people
Yeah.
in the city that are left behind. And
Yes,
are any
yes.
of them left in
Indeed.
charge?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I think Gwyneth's plan is for Morgan to be not Seneschal, but person receiving messages, or
Mhm.
Gwyneth at least, if not the council, and then sending messengers to us as necessary. And I know Anders was going to help too, right? I think Sir Oliver said that.
Mhm.
Mm.
But no, I didn't
Alright.
put any of our buddies in charge.
Well, Roll 20 decided it was going to reload.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump back to the regular
No.
stream.
Yeah. Oh, I can actually see that your visual is lagging a little bit. Not too much, but
Mhm.
like it's noticeably a little bit choppy.
Okay. Hopefully things should be fine. I'm just gonna trim some things.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Premiere.
you and your 47 tabs open.
I have only the tabs I need for this.
Which is in fact 47.
47.
ST life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll close that.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I was having trouble updating my token.
Ah,
No.
Speaking of, I do recommend that here and now, those who wish to eat from their herd do and eat up to full if you haven't already.
It's
Good,
Yeah, I
thank you.
think that I will indeed. I'll take the last 2 dots that I didn't eat last time.
If anybody needs any help, I have my hood available.
I'm gonna bring none snacks along.
Huh? To have some is better than to have none.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That's a good one.
Wah wah.
I wouldn't mind partaking of some of your herd if they don't mind, of course.
Of course.
How many can you spare?
How many do you need?
Hold on, let me do math. 7 at most.
That is as much as I have.
I can take 4.
You can have. Yes. All right. You sure?
Thank you very much, Iris.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Taking care of my friends.
Glorious.
All right.
And I think the last thing was once Marana had returned the leaf, she was going to check back in with us.
Yep.
But it's not to be put in charge precisely.
She does check it and say she has done as was agreed.
Good.
And you do not hear any complaints from Captain Edmund.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
Whatever that means. He's lying dead in a ditch somewhere. I'll never
Well-
hear a complaint from him again.
That is the peace kept.
Good. We appreciate your cooperation in this, Sister Morana.
You're
And-
very welcome.
I was thinking that you would be an ideal candidate to be spy master for the court. How do you feel about this position?
I would be accepting of it, so long as it came with a proper seat on the council.
I don't see why not.
And I would be willing to agree.
Perfect. And welcome. Council welcomes you.
I am glad to be of welcome. And to be of service. My prince.
As you know, we will be leaving soon for Douglas. Most of the
Oh.
council will be going. Do you wish to accompany us?
No, I good to stay behind. I don't like
Very well,
traveling
then.
very much.
Understood.
With that,
Well,
she
then, I
slinks
think
off
in-
into the shadows.
Yeah. Until we come back, that's all I got.
Alright. Alright, so I think with that,
2 nuns. 2.
you guys begin your journey
Indeed.
across the aisle.
If the Malkavian doesn't come, Gwyneth is going to make one last visit to Sigurd. I think. Though we're not leaving him behind to starve while we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Need to brainwash him into actually surviving, or
We can't.
Just-
We can't.
His mind is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you
don't
did what
apologize. This guy, this
Yeah.
guy has lived longer than
That's-
perhaps he should have.
Longer than he deserves.
As I said, not sorry.
Indeed.
Ah.
does he react in any way if when Gwyneth goes to visit him, or is he just like a vegetable?
He's basically a vegetable.
Okay.
It's.
You're
I
gonna
was gonna
say-
say, I think if Gwyneth makes the plan known, I think Iris would request to go with when it happened,
Sure.
like last rites and all that.
Yeah, Gwyneth is just if Sigurd's not reacting, he's basically just gonna go like sit with him as Ragnarok begins. Sit with him just like a calm, like eternal presence, just sit with him. He's gonna like move behind him, and then if Iris wants to say anything beforehand.
She'll just hold his hand and ask, if he wishes to have the last rites done, squeeze my hand, and then depending on the answer, she will, or ask for confessions and all that. If not,
Yeah, there's
accepting
no
of that,
response to
then
him. There's no
right,
response
then
to
she'll-
him at all.
Yeah,
she'll
then-
do the last rites and everything.
Yeah, and then Gwyneth's just gonna just try to break his neck, just clean. Just break
Alright.
his neck.
Well, you kill him. He's dead.
Yep.
Iris will close his eyes and cover him.
And Gwyneth will give instructions for his remains to be sent back to his family before it disappears like Orla's.
If the dogs get to him in the cell, they've earned it.
Dogs. Dogs or
Mm.
demons, one or the other.
Demon
One
dogs.
or the other.
Oh, yes. That's a good point.
Well then, thank you, sister, for accompanying me.
Of course. It is the smallest mercy that I can afford.
Deserve that at least.
Indeed.
Well, I
If
think
people
we will
can
be on
be
our-
afforded any comfort, it is my job to give it to them.
We appreciate that.
I should hope so.
Well, let's go then.
Right.
Off we go.
With that, you all begin your journey to Peel. Not to Peel, to Douglas.
We're there! Ta-da!
Whoa!
All right, there's a lot of them, but let's get this done.
One fine day in the city of Douglas.
All right.
One really long night.
All right. So you guys begin your venture across the Isle. How are you traveling there? Are you taking a carriage? Are you taking horses? How are things going?
For the people that are not going to make the horses hate life, we have horses, and then for the people that will make horses hate life, we have a carriage.
Between
my
the
thought.
animalism squad, we can
Mhm.
have the horses work for
Yeah.
the people who can't.
Yeah.
I think a
So you
carriage
guys-
And
is
also
good.
people that don't ride well. There's that
Yeah.
too.
I will say a carriage will be slower, but it will be more secure, and you're less likely to get caught out in the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, carriage for sure.
If some of us are going by carriage anyway, it's probably carriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
May as well.
Gonna say, being caught out in the sunlight couldn't be me.
Yeah, you could just bury in the ground.
Some of us need specific things to rest, so we will
That's
definitely
very
be
true.
taking carriage.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yup.
very good point.
All right, so you load up the carriage with yourselves and a large coffin. Interestingly enough.
At least one. At least one.
Hmm. And whatever goods you decide that you want to bring with you to Douglas.
Yeah, we should bring like a gift basket. We talked
Yeah.
about that. Getting like
Yeah.
all the cool stuff from Pio.
An
Yeah, like
activity book full of
spices and
trivia.
dye.
Some crayons. Nah.
Yeah.
Yes, crayons.
Largesse.
Indeed.
Roll some
Mhm.
glass.
Alright.
Small S. Something.
Why don't let's have the prince roll us a d10 and tell me high or low.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nothing ever went wrong when we did this.
Nope. Just low.
I am gonna say, hi, and try to break our bad luck streak.
Mm.
Oh, that is the opposite.
Nope, it holds. It holds.
Yeah.
I just want to say, my duty under Father Collins was to guide people around the island, and I've got a specialty in travel, so this is my fault.
It's the dice.
Which does remind me, Randolph, as you are leading, I need a wits survival, I think would be.
Yay! Difficulty?
This will be difficulty 8.
Let's do it. I will, in fact, spend a willpower on this.
Alright.
And a good thing I did. That is
Yeah.
one success. I'm good
Cool.
at this, even.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What happened?
You manage to arrive. It takes you about the entire night, and then you have to stop for the day to rest inside the carriage, which I would say is a little uncomfortable because you're all very close to each other inside this carriage.
I'll give you some space.
I'm in the coffin. I'm not with y'all, so have a good
That's fair.
day.
It's you all in a
Yeah,
large
yeah.
coffin inside.
Yeah.
I think Iris would probably be on Maud's side.
I don't think Maud seems bothered at all.
Did Randolph bury himself?
Yes, I am in the ground.
So it's just the three of you then. You're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
If not for the coffin taking up 90% of space.
Right?
It's not inside, you guys.
Squishing us against one side.
like-
That's our prince.
And somehow Oliver has slept in worse, and he is fine with this.
Mhm. I will say, as
so
day
glad I took the
comes,
king-sized coffin.
yeah. I will say, as the three of you are in there and the sun begins to rise, you feel a profound sense of vulnerability. As it would only take someone to open the door, and you guys would all be dead. And that is the last thought you have as you slip into the slumber of the dead. Before awakening the next night.
Whew.
Or do we?
well, this.
1 point of blood.
Yes.
Spend 0.1 point of
Um,
blood.
1 point of blood. Blah blah blah.
Ah, 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 ah.
Ah.
No words.
And with that, it takes you about half the night to eventually arrive at the gates to the city of Douglas. Randolph, you would know it does not normally take this long.
Yeah, it's partially the carriage, partially me not being at my best. I will not announce that to the rest of them, however.
They don't need to know that.
They don't need to know that.
Just because we're bougie, it's fine.
Exactly. And how often is this trip going to be made? On the return trip, he's going to do his best, but maybe get some Scotty time. But as they crest a hill and move to Douglas, he goes, "Here we are."
Oh,
Assume we know where in the city we're to meet them.
I do hope that was included in the instruction from the bard.
certainly does
Be
seem
convenient.
like.
If not, we can find out.
You know where to go. There is a
Okay.
large manor deep within the city of Douglas that you have given the location on as a potential meeting spot.
And we will go there.
All right, and you all travel out in the open. None of you attempting to stealth or hide or sneak your way into the city.
Not in such a way that would be hostile, but my face is a little bit iffy. I think I'm going to get started on the scouting, and get into the city and avoid some guards, because these guys can pass as, like, nobles and, like, nuns and people of the cloth and their bodyguards. If anyone looks at my face unprotected by a scarf...
I will probably take lead of the carriage, Mark, and as we're going through the city, I'll go ahead and spend 1 blood to flush a health.
All right.
Very good. And I will spend 1 point of blood to become a bird.
Yay!
All right then.
Sweet.
We see Randolph shift into the shape of a bird and fly off into the sky. Randolph, roll me a d10 and tell me high or low.
Hi, I'm feeling 8.
All right. The bird soars high in the sky, and you manage to follow along with your council mates as they make their way to the city towards this large manor. Is there any other sites you are attempting to check out?
I think just getting a bird's eye view, pun intended, and that kind of thing. The thing I'm kind of looking for is, even at this late at night, how does it compare to Peel, like in size and activity?
Oh, it's much more bustling.
Indeed.
This city is very much not only a bigger city, but seems to be a bigger trade port, as it is on the side of the islands that is lines up with Scotland and England and Wales.
The wolf didn't do enough to this place. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I'm looking for without anything specific in mind. Because I don't know if there's any, like, locums of kindred activity. I'll probably rejoin the group once they get closer.
All right. Do you join them as a bird or as a person?
I will join them. Yeah, I will join them as a person. Once they get closer.
Okay.
Like going into an alleyway and reclaiming my humanoid form.
All right. With stealth.
Let's do it. Would the reactive specialty or the silent movement specialty help?
Reactive would. It's you thinking on your feet to find a place
Let's do it.
You know, you can sneak into without being seen. But you transform.
That is 8 successes.
Whoa.
It's a lot of successes, damn.
Damn.
So yeah, you managed to very smoothly, actually, like, you duck into the shadows, We hear the sound of cracking bones and shifting form as we see you just step out of the alleyway and as if in lockstep with your fellow council members, as if you were there the whole time. Alright then. With that, you enter into the building. As you do, you can see there are a number of figures around. A lot of them nobles, but a couple of them seem to be much more rugged looking. And they all seem to turn to you as you enter inside. Each of them quirking an eye. For you, Iris, there is a figure you recognize.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
And those X's come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, you know those nuns, they're just full of X's.
I'm
Where's
Mar.
my token?
There you go.
I need to fix my token again.
You see a man you recognize as Father Aurelio.
Oh,
Do you remember who this guy is?
he's one of the ones that I met at the party.
Indeed. And he kind of looks to you, quirks an eye, certainly not expecting to see you here, but he does not make any direct movements towards you.
I think she'll just nod, attempt to have a blank face, emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
The
Is Oliver
eyes of
still?
oh, sorry.
Is Oliver still at the lead here as we go in, or not so much?
It would depend on what the prince wished. He was just leading the carriage, but once we arrive at the manor, I imagine, Mark, are there people that come and tend to the horses and pull the carriage off, or
Yeah, that
are
would
we
be.
just leaving it? Okay, all right. At that point, he would, stand at the door, help everybody out of the carriage, and then kind of follow the prince's lead.
Gwyneth doesn't plan on talking to anybody until he's before the other prince. Not announcing himself for sure. So
Oliver would take care of that. Then he would herald their entrance inappropriately and whatnot.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there anything specific he would say?
Delicious etiquette.
Oh god.
Upon entering the chamber where that's obviously been set up for this, he would bow before it once he steps in through the doorway, and then a step to the left. And as the thanks, Rebecca. I didn't mean to do that.
we're all there
And
now.
yep. So he steps off to the side. I'm pleased to announce the entrance of the Prince of Peel, Prince Gwyneth.
Alright.
Steps forward, putting
Sir
a dashing
Oliver,
figure.
I will have you roll your charisma plus your etiquette. So for you, that will be 5 dice.
Nice.
And you get a specialty, because you have the specialty of diplomat.
Ooh.
Or diplomatic. Which is certainly counts towards.
Right, give me a second.
No problem.
I will be right back.
He's off to
Standard
spy
difficulty.
again.
Repeat that, Drew?
Standard difficulty.
Yes, standard diff. Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
6 successes because you have the specialty.
Damn.
So you do this in a way that draws everyone's eye as you wander in. People almost seem to like look at Gwynedd, this mysterious figure, with a lot more respect rather than apprehension as was seen before. Something certainly shifts in the room where Gwynedd becomes this kind of figure piece of attention, of discussion, of interest. Which would be surprising for a nobody prince of an island, of a city on the other side of the island. But yes, it does. As you look around, you are then approached by a figure. A blonde lady. Beautiful. With stunning blue eyes, steps forward as she looks to you all with a slight bow and says, I am Eloise de Lune, and I am the keeper of the Prince's Elysium. It is a pleasure to meet you all. As she rises one more time. For you, Sir Oliver, you feel this profound sense of deja vu. As if you have met this lady before.
mm-hmm. His eyes would look her over before attempting to lock upon her, and then just a gentle nod and a confident but subtle smirk.
Pleasure, keeper.
My
Mortis
prince
nods.
does wish to speak to you, Prince of Peel.
That is why we have come. I am ready when he is.
Good. I shall retrieve you once the room has been set. Until then, feel free to mingle as you wish.
Very well.
With that, she gives a bow as she turns away, but before she does, she looks towards you, Sir Oliver, for a brief moment. And it's in that moment it hits you. She is the spitting image of Esma, your dead wife.
Oh.
The grin, the confident grin, remains, but his eyes narrow, and then right brow quirks. Unneeding to breathe, but he takes a slight apprehensive breath in, as if putting puzzle pieces together. He then walks to his prince, again nodding to the woman, and hands the prince the basket of largesse that they had brought, so that prince may gift it at the appropriate time, but never takes his eyes off of the mysterious woman that reminds him of his wife.
I'm just gonna hand it to Randolph because he's not here right now.
Randolph grunts and holds the bag.
He would.
He can probably still hear you.
I know.
Mhm.
Well, he's got
I know
dog
that.
ears, so
And then
I
he's
know.
going to look around for
I can,
like
and
a
it's exactly
corner.
what I do. Sorry.
Mhm.
Absolutely. He's gonna look around for like a corner with like appropriate chair, table, something for them to make themselves comfortable so that people can come to them and they're not just standing here surrounded by folks. And when we go there, he's gonna get settled and invite everyone else to take a load off. He is going to take out his harp and start playing because that's what he does.
I love the
Wait and
idea
see
how
what
in
happens.
in a foreign visit, like the president takes out a guitar and starts playing.
He's just that guy.
Yep.
Said maybe.
Yes, I was thinking
You
Wonderwall too.
It's definitely Wonderwall. It's definitely
Hadrian's
Wonderwall.
Wall.
I mean, you bought a bard to a prince fight, so I don't know what you want.
Indeed.
and meanwhile, Oliver stands back towards the entrance door, his back to the wall, just looking everybody over.
Yeah, Gwen is definitely watching the crowd while he does this for sure. But
I think Randolph is probably Sir Oliver's more feral mirror, keeping an eye on things. Would he have caught the reaction of Sir Oliver and Iris?
I leave
yeah,
that
can
to
we
them
roll
to
for
decide.
that?
Mhm.
I think Iris, for her part, made any effort to hide her nod and look. She might have even said something under her breath, like, "I know that one."
I think the look of puzzlement on Oliver's face would have been obvious, though no further story would have been told, because
Exactly.
he doesn't quite know what's going on.
With that, I think Randolph's eyes do scan the crowd, keeping an eye on Aurelio and the Keeper. How many Canites are here? Because in Peel, I think there's around maybe like 10.
It's about 10 in the city. Here, there are about, we'll say, around 6, including the ones you've seen so far.
Indeed. Not a bad turnout for one Elysium.
Quite
Is it
so.
actually Elysium? That was my other question.
This seems to be an Elysium.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think if anyone's going to be talking to people and gathering information from them, it's not going to be me.
Oh. Yes, I think if no one else had a plan, and while we were waiting for any announcement, I think Iris would make her way over to Father Aurelio. Not necessarily a beeline, but when it seemed, courteous and appropriate.
He would look to you with a simple nod. Would say, "Well, if it isn't Iris, though I hear you go by Sister Iris these days, is that the case?"
That is the truth of it, yes. I think the life suits the new me.
I see. I've not seen you around for quite some time. Last I heard, you had left our gathering.
so much left as I was left. And once that was the case, I made my own way.
Flicks an eye for a moment before something seems to click and he nods slightly. I suppose it's not unexpected. That sire of yours has always been quite the odd one, he kind of says, looking to the side.
That's certainly one word for it. I'm no stranger to people taking what they want and then leaving the rest behind.
That is generally how things go.
Indeed.
But you seem to have done quite well for yourself. Despite the lingering shadow of your sire upon your reputation. Though perhaps his distance from you is a boon in that aspect, as he looks over to those you walked in with.
I think there will be a slight smile on her face. True. They know not of him. And my life as a nun is all that I've been in some time. Therefore, it's all they know. It's all they need to know.
I see. Well, it was interesting running into you again, Sister Iris.
Always a pleasure.
He nods.
Can I use heightened senses to sort of try to catch any whispers around the room of interest?
Sure. Perception alertness. It would be at difficulty 8, but you can lower the difficulty equal to your heightened sense, to your dots in aspects. It's either that or you add them as dice. I don't quite remember, so we're going to do with what I said first.
It's diff reduction, you're right.
Yes.
And we hope no one could detect that.
Heightened senses is difficult to detect.
Indeed.
I'm sorry,
You've
it was
got to
perception.
probably have it alert.
Perception what?
Perception alertness. Difficulty 8 minus to difficulty what your level in aspects is.
So that would be difficulty 6.
Yes. So
I believe that
let's
is
switch to our
correct.
other page so people can see the tokens.
I don't hear shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're trying to focus in, but I think the sound of your own harp is kind of hampering your ability to listen in.
Makes
As
sense.
it's the closest sorts of sound, and each twang is loud and... How do I describe this? It's like you could hear every little bit of the vibration. You can hear the movement of the strings.
Makes sense.
But yes. After some time...
As
Oh, go ahead.
wait. As this is all going on, and Sister Iris is moving around to speak, and when it's listening, Oliver would approach his prince, bowing before him, and then lean in and whisper, "While you are in speaking with the Prince of Douglas, are there any accommodations you would request from the Elysium Keeper?"
Our stay while we're in the city, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I assume we should all be afforded rooms, and of course, the coffin needs to be brought up to mine. Beyond that, I would have to ask the others. Do you have anything in mind?
No, I was merely going to take care of that business while you were in with the prince. I will
Excellent.
go around and make sure everybody's needs are met.
Thank you, Oliver.
Of course, my prince. And he'll start working his way around, probably starting with Maud and then ending with Randolph. Maud, is there any specific accommodations you need? Should we be staying for a night or two?
Not really. I can see just about anywhere so long as there's not sun, obviously.
Well, hopefully in an Elysium there would be no such thing. He smiles and nods.
Of
If
course.
anything comes up, please let me know and I will approach the keeper about it if you would like.
Of course.
Then, catching Sister Iris on her way back from her discussion. Sister Iris, is there anything in specific that you need? Should we be staying for a couple of nights?
It is very kind of you to ask, Sir Oliver, but I need nothing more than what is offered, provided
Any
curtains.
of your herd come with us? I knew you were thinking about it.
No. Randolph had some, but then the rest were left. But yes, no specific accommodations.
Very well.
Thank you.
And finally, he'll go to Randolph, kind of shielding Randolph from the rest of the group with his back. Randolph, considering your circumstances, are there any specific accommodations you would prefer be offered while we are here for the next couple of days?
I don't like it when people know where I sleep. Unless it's going to be a great insult, I need no special accommodations. Would in fact prefer to lodge outside the city.
I will, if you would agree to this, I will beg that they, and catch the word beg, but I will ask that they allow you to, that they are aware of your clan and they allow you to sleep out where they're keeping the horses. And that will give you the freedom to go where you wish.
Aye, that would be good. Don't give any concessions. We don't want any signs of weakness before proper negotiation begins. But I'm certain you can take care of it.
Exactly. Very well. And then he will make his way over towards the other side of the room where the keeper had entered to get the room ready and just wait patiently till the princes allowed entrance into the room. And then at that time he will be prepared to speak to the keeper.
Alright. I will say it's around this point that the keeper arrives, coming towards your group at the table where you are, and would say, "The prince is ready to see you all now."
Very well. And we'll stop
Thank you so
playing,
much.
stand up, and wait for her to lead the way.
She does lead the way. And Oliver, you said you were waiting to the side?
Yeah, like when they walked back in,
Mhm.
he wasn't sure if they were going to have just the princes talk or not. But as the as they start making their way off across the room again, he'll lock eyes and gaze with her and say, when this meeting is over, I would like to speak to you about our needs and accommodations privately, if at all possible.
Of course, such things can be provided.
It is much appreciated. Thank you.
She nods and leads you all inside the meeting room.
Ah!
Ooh.
Let me guess who's who.
I mean, this looks like a
This guy's
venture.
reference. Yeah, this looks like
Yeah.
a venture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a venture.
He's got the Habsburg ears.
I know that guy. He has a movie coming out.
He does.
The rare Nosferatu movie star. Gary Golden's predecessor.
Oh God.
Alright. But you all arrive. And you are given a position upon a table where opposite sits a large number of other kindred. 5, to be exact. You see one who sits in a corner. A large broadsword sits upon his back, as he is dressed in heavy armor. A long, dark beard that extends down below to the top of his chest, and slicked back but wild, dark hair, unkempt. At the center of the group, sitting a little before the others, is a regal-looking gentleman with a neatly trimmed dark beard and long, flowing, dark brown hair. He has at his side a small axe, like a hand axe, and he wears on his head what looks to be a thin strip of bronze-like metal, like that of a crown. In the center of it sits a shining green emerald. And he is dressed in finery. You can all make a intelligence and academics if you have it.
Ooh.
I do not.
If you don't have it, you can't roll.
One.
I
So you do not
think
have
I
it.
have a
Soraya.
dot. You can. Okay.
Yeah, you don't.
Intelligence academics, you said?
Yep. If you have academics.
Yep.
If you don't have academics, you can't
I
roll.
do.
Oh, all right.
I've got one.
Well, it's been hit in the books. This will be difficulty 7.
Yep. Cool.
Study buddies.
Ah,
Hey.
one.
Difficulty
Definitely.
6, you said?
7.
7.
Difficulty.
7.
7. Makes sense.
Nice.
Hmm.
And success. Alright. For Maud and Gwyneth, he looks to be dressed in a way that is certainly not of this island. The noble clothes he wears are neither Norse nor Gaelic. And for your information, Gwyneth, it is not Welsh either.
I figured.
Next to him is a man dressed in the clothes of a priest, aside from a hood that he wears over his head, and a long grey beard. He holds with him a long stick that is topped by a cross. and it appears to be made of gold.
Hmm.
To his side, you see the Keeper of the Elysium, as was introduced to you, Eloise de Lune, the beautiful figure with blonde hair and blue eyes. And finally, in the back, you see a hideous-looking man with skin pulled taut, white, the color of bone, sickly, putrescently orange eyes, and these long, almost bat-like ears. He huddles himself in the corner behind the others.
He's my dark mirror. Not the other
Choose your dark mirror.
rugged soldier.
No, that one's Moles, clearly.
Exactly.
Gwyneth will sit down across from Prince Atticus and wait for the others to grab a seat. Those who are going to. No doubt Randolph will want to lurk in the background.
Look, I'm not an animal, I'm a hunter. If it's rude, he's gonna sit.
All right, Merrick.
As they enter, Oliver would go over and kind of elbow Randolph and take the basket of largesse and quicken his pace into the room. He sees the crown. I'm sure that even though I couldn't tell the clothing, I'm guessing that he knows enough about etiquette and court life to know who the prince is.
He's most likely the prince, the guy with the crown.
Yeah. So he will, again, softly, not in a heraldic cry, but in a soft voice. I'm sorry, out of character. What's this prince's name again? Because it's been a
Atticus.
while.
Prince Atticus.
Atticus. Yes. Prince Atticus, we're pleased to answer your request. Prince Gwyneth appeal. And please take these gifts as a sign of our respect and wish to create a rapport between our two cities.
Who holds forth the basket?
So Oliver
Oh.
took it from Randolph.
Yeah.
All right.
So Oliver.
All right. So Oliver, as you hold it forward, you see the big, bearded, gruff-looking man in the heavy armor step forward and take the basket from you, kind of roughly, before turning around and marching back to the side of the other man.
But
With that,
smile. Go ahead.
with that, you see the brown-haired man step forward with the crown, as he says, "Your gifts are appreciated. I am Prince Atticus of Clan Ventru, child of Godwin, child..." Hold on.
This is the hardest part about playing Ventra.
Child
Yeah.
of Lucius, child of Mithras, child of Ventru. With that,
Well
he
met.
just
Prince Atticus.
he nods, and with that, he would gesture to his side and would say, "This is my sheriff. So Malaki..."
The priest?
No, he points to this man.
Oh.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, I mean, you've got a Templar right next to you. That's good.
Mhm.
Clock
that,
someone
you
hard
see-
with that gold cross.
Malaki nod as he goes, "Clan Gangrel." He then gestures to the other side and says, "This is my seneschal and advisor, Father Sebastian O'Malley." As you see the priest step forward. He moves with a strange grace that you don't expect from someone who looks his age. As he nods his head and says, "It is a pleasure to meet you all. As was said, I am Father Sebastian of Clan Bruja. It is a pleasure to meet you."
Likewise.
With that,
Pleasure.
Prince Elegus once again gestures to the woman at the end. "This is Eloise DeLune. She serves as my keeper of Elysium." With that, she bows her head. Says, "I am of Clan Toreador. A pleasure." Before she takes a step back. Finally, before he can be introduced, the squat Nosferatu steps his way forward and goes, "And I'm Gust. Just Gust is fine." He then takes a step back. As the prince looks to you, Gwynedd, and waits.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I am Prince Gwynedd of Peel, Clan Zemitzi, and may I introduce my sheriff, Randolph, Clan Gangrel, and members of our Primogen Council in Peel. Sister Iris, Clan La Sombra, Sir Oliver, Clan Ventru. I will leave it to him to give his Ventru pedigree if he wishes.
Out of character, Mark, who came between Mithras and Aethelbert? That's the one name I do not have.
Hold on. Nope. Aethelric.
That makes it easy. Appreciate that. Oliver says, "I'm Sir Oliver of Normandy, childer of Baron Aethelbert, grandchilder of Aethelbrick, great grandchilder of Mithras, and it is a pleasure to enter your hall."
He
And
nods.
last but not least, this is Maud, Clan Arames.
The prince kind of narrows his eyes at that. "I have not heard of such clan before."
We are a unique bunch in Peel.
I saw Mars's mouth move, but I didn't hear any sound.
I didn't say anything. I
Oh,
was
got you,
just
got
I was
you.
making mouth motion.
I thought you were muted, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Bloodline.
Kind of nods slowly. He says, I welcome you all into my city as honored guests. I've invited you here to discuss the future of the island. I will admit, when I first made my claim, I was unaware that Peel still had a prince. I had been informed that its previous prince had left it unruled.
Yes, he left it in our charge as council, and after declaring praxis, I am prince in his absence.
I see. Are you perhaps kin to him? I do not believe I ever received information as to the clan of Father Collins.
Do we know that? I don't
None of
remember
you ever
it.
asked.
Maud just shrugs.
I am not kin to him. In fact, I do not know Father Collins' clan. I confess.
Is that so?
It is.
In which case,
Yeah.
as the new prince of the city of Peel, it is you who I seek to speak with in such matters of diplomacy between our two cities. I see no reason why this must turn to bloody conflict.
Neither do I.
Then I hope an agreement can be made between us. If not an alliance, an understanding, or we each are to share the island. Or at the very least stay out of each other's ways.
I welcome the discussion as to an agreement or an alliance between our two cities. Do not see why we cannot share the island.
I agree. Well then, I suppose it should be known that I am indeed here as a representative of the baronies of Avalon. However, the handling of matters on the island for the baronies, has been left in my charge. And for that reason, I have been given free rein to act as how I like. At least among the laws and agreements between the barons and between the barons and our lord.
It is good to hear.
I do not know if you are aware, but this island itself was once ruled over by my sire, Godwin. He was prince over Douglas for quite some time.
No, I was not aware of this.
To be fair, this was about a century ago.
What came of him, if I might ask?
I am not sure.
Forgive me for the interruption, but this is news to me as well. Mysterious disappearances happen relatively frequently when it comes to kindred, but rarely when it comes to princes of entire isles.
He had a conflict with another of the Canaanites of this isle. We know not how it ended.
Hmm.
Only that, when we looked upon the isle once more, a man by the name of Father Collins had taken up princehood over the city of Peel.
I've got a question for you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So, weird dramatic things happening that no one seems to remember. Is that
Mm-hmm.
something
Uh,
that
As a
Randolph
clarification, he said a century ago, what I meant was about 2 centuries ago. So he would have said
Yeah.
a few centuries ago is what he would have actually said. So we'll
Oh.
have that be what he actually said, because I realize it doesn't make sense otherwise.
But yes. With that in mind, 2 centuries is a long enough time for people to forget about what happened, but I think he's still feeling paranoid.
It's possible.
Does it, like,
Again,
trigger any alarm bells?
I'm sure it triggers a lot of alarm bells. Again, the problem
Yeah.
becomes that none of you were embraced around that time. None of you were even alive during that time. So the only way to know what would have happened at that time is to talk to a kindred who is old enough to remember it.
Ah.
Like, say, Father Collins. Presumably.
Yeah.
So wake him up.
Wake up, Dad.
Well, we gotta
Yeah.
find him
Yep,
first. We don't know where he went.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But Randolph will say, thank you for indulging my curiosity.
He knows.
Drew?
Oliver. Go ahead. You're good.
No, you go ahead.
Oliver looks as if he has something to say, but he has not been further acknowledged by either of the princes, so he holds fast his tongue.
I will say he did
Almost
acknowledge
kind
you
of
when
like-
you read out your title and your lineage. There was like an active nod of, I acknowledge you.
Prince of Douglas. As you declare your lineage and tell the story of your right of praxis to this city and your previous thought of the island, I acknowledge that. However, Prince Gwyned's praxis to Peel through Father Collins, who had been prince previously, and to our knowledge, the only active prince on the island. Both of you have right to your praxis. May we progress forward into the actual negotiations?
I think that is agreeable. I want it known that the city of Douglas and the land surrounding it are to remain in the purview of my domain. It shall not be trespassed upon without my permission by neither Canaanite nor prince. When one requests to visit the territory of another, one must send word ahead, lest one be thought of as an invader and a trespasser.
I will agree to this. If you will agree to the same in regard to the city of Peel being our domain and the lands surrounding it as well. The same agreement of trespass or visit.
I find such agreeable.
Regarding the other two cities upon the island, do either of you wish to acknowledge those areas at this time?
We never heard back after we sent notes, right?
Yep. Simply the notes were sent back. Essentially, there was no one who received them.
Yeah, I think
Prince
Gwyneth will just say, the cities of Douglas and Peel, I believe, are the only cities of import on the Isle of Man at this time.
I would agree. However, in the past, Castle Town, to the south end of the island, has been a position of power for the Kingdom of the Isles and of Man. I ask this, that it remain neutral territory between us both. Neither shall claim domain over it.
We'll agree to this.
Yeah,
And
I
I would-
think Randolph definitely says nothing. He does get paranoid. The rulership of the royal family is an important thing, and keeping it
Mhm.
neutral is important. However, it's really good if you get them, and
Yeah,
he
I
thinks
think-
they'll do it eventually. But he's not
I
going to say anything.
I think Iris is thinking along the same lines, is that neutrality leads to desire to overtake and obtain and make it not neutral.
That is the question.
Right, so
With that stated, I would propose that if that is to be the way of Castle Rock, then the other city be held in such respect as well.
I find such agreeable.
As do
My
I.
prince,
Yes, I agree, Oliver.
what further considerations do you have outside of the boundaries of our lands and the need for communication between the two cities?
Simply an
If I may?
understanding.
Oh, sorry.
no, go on. Simply that an understanding that my lands are bound to the same rules as those of any of the baronies of Avalon. That no unsanctioned elders are to meet, either alone nor in public. Neither are any Tremere allowed to trespass within its borders. Not without revealing themselves first.
It seems fair.
I can tell you, it does not take much to tell that there is a serious distaste for the Tremere clan coming from this guy.
Yeah, Mithras doesn't like him, and that's very fashionable. Randolph will say, as the prince acquiesces to that, I have one point of order. that while it will hopefully not come up, should be stated ahead of time. What of criminals of either the blood laws of Mithras or of our own domain? Shall they be remanded to the other domain should they try to seek shelter here? Or simply be branded outlaws?
I will say this. Should one of us declare a member of their city to be persona non grata, to be blood hunted, the other remains the right to respect such a request for oh, I'm forgetting the word. Extradition?
Lex Talia. Extradition, that's the
Extradition.
Yeah.
one.
Shall respect the right to either acquiesce to a request for expedition or
Extradition.
extradition, or choose to hold them within their own court. This is a right that not only I would have, but you would be able to have as well. Though, of course, it would be amicable for us to respect each other's decisions when it comes to those who have broken our laws. But I do not believe it is necessary to put undue pressure that might sour agreements that are made today.
Are
That's
there?
fine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
She says that sounds fine with him.
With that stated, are there any within either of the cities that are currently held in such respects that we should both be aware of?
He looks to you first, Gwyneth.
There is no such person in Peel currently.
There is no such person within Douglas. So far.
With all this said, I have but one more question, and it relates to our control over the mortals specifically. Most recently, a war was fought in the Isle of Man against the king, and indeed an exiled king. In such terms, when kindred and mortal Cainite and mortal politics might get somewhat muddled, shall choices made upon the battlefield in the service of assisting one's mortal influences impact Cainite relations as well? Indeed, some members of the baronies of Avalon fought alongside Scottish mercenaries.
I say that that can be simply placed under the consequences of our politics. I find there is no need to hold such against others. 'Tis simply
I
how the game
may-
is played.
I agree.
If I may propose, with our agreement of open communication, should we foresee future endeavors of that sort, that we host a meeting such as this in an Elysium to discuss the stances of both cities and make sure that our kind stay ruling as they should.
That is agreeable.
Agreed.
That in mind, is there aught else to be discussed? It seems an amicable agreement has been reached.
I will say that the city of Peel is pleased to be in such agreement with the city of Douglas, and we thank Prince Atticus once more for inviting us here to have these discussions.
He nods.
If it would please both the princes, I will write up a treaty of the Isle of Man this evening for both of you to review and sign tomorrow, bonding our agreement.
I find such agreeable. Once it is written, I shall have my seneschal look over it. Father Sebastian steps forward. If you would like any assistance in the creation of such, feel free to ask.
I have no objection to this.
I will work with you this evening, Father Sebastian, and we will write it together.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
I think that is all for the moment. Unless there is anything else you can think of, Prince Atticus.
I think that does us well. There is but one other matter I do wish to inform you of. Though it is not necessarily of one who is within Douglas. There is a Cainite that has been spotted upon the islands that is a fugitive within the baronies of Avalon. One Aemon of Clan Bruja.
We heard of this person? I can't remember.
You haven't.
I see.
Maud,
Yes, yeah.
you remember meeting an individual named Aemon
Yep, I was
who
literally
visited
looking at
you
my
on your
notes.
farm. Yeah.
Yep.
Visited you upon your farm, said hello, and you basically
Yeah.
told him to fuck off because he was acting weird. Uh, yeah. And he was pretty much like, hey, do you like, freedom? Do you hate the elders for what they're doing to you? And you're like, fuck off.
Yeah, this guy.
My sire's alright.
This guy.
You also remember when he left in the direction of the city to the north, there were rumors a few nights ago that the city was lit on fire. At least a good chunk of it was burned to the ground.
Oh,
With
shit.
many people saying that there were this figure that was a laughing man on fire that seemed to have been the cause for it. But this was many, many years ago, so most people had forgotten it or written it off as some sort of old wives' tale. Just an unfortunate fire that tends to happen.
Yep.
But you remember.
I don't think Maud says anything. I just think that she notes that bit of information and just kind of stays silent like she has been throughout most of this conversation, just kind of looking at the others.
If we come upon this Aemon of Clan Bruja, what would you like us to do with them?
I would like him brought to my city and to my sheriff.
Very well.
And I would like him alive.
That can be done.
Understood.
Though not necessarily in one piece.
That can definitely be done.
All right.
That is all else I have to speak of.
We thank you for your hospitality, Prince Atticus.
And I thank you for traveling so far to my city. I hope this will be the beginning of a good relationship between these two cities of the Isle.
As do I.
Shall endeavor to make it so.
The business concluded. May we indulge a bit in your hospitality as the good father and I begin work on the treaty.
Of course. You have the freedom to visit and explore my city, so you should, as you like. So long as you ensure to follow the traditions and do not make a mess.
I wouldn't dream of it.
He nods. And with that, he, Eloise and Gust leave the room. Leaving Sebastian and Sir Malaki as the other ones left in the room. And Sir Malaki would make his way across the room, around Gwyneth, to you, Randolph.
Oh god.
Mhm.
So he just stares at you for a moment.
The Malaki.
You are a member of the clan, but I don't recognize your name, nor your face.
No.
He leans in, sniffing at the air.
I think he kind of sniffs
Father.
back. I think it's very much like beast meeting beast, kind of. There's definitely a lot of staring very closely.
He does that and he goes,
Um,
"You smell wild.
That's right.
Watch your step in my prince's city, for I will remove
know.
you if necessary."
I know how to behave. You won't have any problems.
You had better. With that, he turns and he leaves.
No, you know what? This is standard beast stick measuring. I don't think I need to roll any instinct.
With that, Father Sebastian would walk up and go, "My apologies with him. He takes his job very seriously."
I like him. Very polite.
Good.
He says unironically.
Yes, he is quite. Sir Oliver, did you wish to
Yes.
begin the drafting of the agreement now, or is there other things that you wish to do in the meantime?
If you could give me a pause and recess, make sure that my council gets settled, and for me to have a discussion with the keeper of this Elysium, and then we can get the draft made,
Of
if
course.
it would suit you.
You need but simply approach me within the Elysium. I shall be there for the rest of the night, till about half hour till morning.
Very well, I shall not take long. Thank you for your consideration.
He nods. with that, he leaves, and you all are left within the room.
If I were them, I'd have Gust hidden listening, but that's neither here nor there.
Is not. Think that went well.
Aye. If, as claimed, the rulership of the entirety of the Isle was made out of not quite knowing that Peel was inhabited, then all seems to be sorted.
Agreed, and either way, they've accepted my claim. I think I should like to see more of this city. Tempting as Elysium is.
It's larger than
I may
Peel.
go out and do some exploring tonight.
Shall we all stay together then?
I don't think
I will.
that needs be. Oliver has work to do, and you are free to enjoy Elysium or accompany me as you wish.
I think
We'll
I'll
take
come
Randolph
with
with me, of course.
you. Aye. All that being said, the talk of the mystery regarding the prince's disappearance, Prince Atticus's sire, the battle, I don't know.
Glorious.
Smells like a trail.
Randolph,
Mystery.
we have a many days travel back home. Keep in mind discussions and time and place.
Indeed.
I think that's for the best.
I will say
Yeah.
I'm curious as well, though.
Centuries hide many secrets, but
Yes.
quite so. Time and place.
Many mysteries on this island to investigate and
so.
solve.
Speaking of, once we get back home, I'm gonna take a look for this Amos fella. Sounds like a right piece of work.
Amen.
Aye, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
But we should probably
Yeah.
get to work and exploring, unless there's anything
Yes.
else.
No, I think we should go. Maud, Sister Iris, what will you be doing?
Probably exploring the city. At least a little bit. I could leave you and Randolph to your own devices.
You're welcome to accompany us if you wish.
I'm not sure myself. If you wanted someone to listen in to the goings on of Elysium, I could stay, or I could look
Not
out
a
on my
bad
own.
idea. You feel you could do that? You stayed behind, Maud.
Well, I can do that. I'm not much of a conversationalist, but I tend to fade into the background anyway, so I can keep eyes and ears.
Let's do that for now. If we are to be here more than one night, we can always trade tomorrow, and Maud can explore tomorrow evening.
But fade into the background, you look like you're carved out of marble. Anyone who ignores you is just asking to get hit in the head.
Not in an Elysium, fortunately.
Quite so.
Thanks, I
That
guess.
being that being said, if you did wish your company at all, I'd be happy to stay behind with you. I don't know how wise it is for any of us to be quite alone.
I think if any of us are to be alone, Maud is likely the safest one. But it is up to her.
I have no doubt of her capability.
I don't mind either way, but I feel I'm as less risk in an Elysium, considering.
Certainly.
I see.
Up to you, though.
I think keep an eye on the things in Elysium. Get to know the people, get to know the Canaanites, get to know the potential new friends. He says
Indeed.
with a smile that looks strange on his maw.
He like scratches
getting
ear
used to it.
directly after it.
Mm.
I'm sure we're getting used to it by now.
Yeah,
Had it for a bit.
what doesn't flinch? I think if you want to talk to people, I could listen in, see what I can find out. I'm not really good at talking.
Sounds good.
Very well. Well, thank you all. I'm going to take my leave and make sure that everything is set for when you return, or when you're prepared for sleep. Should you need
Thanks,
me,
Sir
I should
Oliver.
be back in this chamber before long. Very well. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sir Oliver.
It's appreciated.
Bow his way
Okay.
out and seek this keeper.
Alright. And do the rest of you head out as well?
Hey. Oh, unless Elysium has food and availability, but if it doesn't, then he's just gonna go.
Linger around in Elysium, I think.
Fair enough.
Because, yeah, leaving the prince alone in another city is a recipe for them getting assassinated and it being pinned on these people.
Nope,
We're just two
typically
guys
we
being
do that
dudes.
twice. Guys being dudes.
Boring.
Just two guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time.
Two bros chilling in a not hot tub.
Alright. So, Sir Oliver, you go to speak with the keeper of the Elysium. How do you
Yes.
approach?
Where are they? Roughly.
She is currently off to one side of the Elysium by herself as she kind of surveys the Elysium as a whole, looking around.
As he exits the room and scans to find her, he will approach in a roundabout fashion so that she can see him coming. And then he'll give her a good 6 feet of breath and personal space where he stops and bows. If we might have that conversation, as well as the well, first the needs. Our carriage had a casket in it that needs to be placed in the prince's room, and if it would be appropriate for our gangrel to be permitted to rest with the horses.
Such arrangements can be made. Very well.
And then I would like to have a more personal conversation, if you will it, once everything is situated.
Of course. She just kind of goes and goes,
Oh.
In that case, if you'll excuse me.
Very well. I shall be here and await your return. Thank you.
It takes her some time to get everything ordered. Everything that is needed is brought in and put within the necessary rooms. A large casket is brought through the Elysium and up the stairs.
Those schools are blood buffing.
Oh yeah, carrying that shit.
They're making use of that $1 potence they get.
Oh yeah. But yes. During this time, who has left and who has stayed within the Elysium?
Maud has stayed.
Iris has also stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Liz and Randolph have left.
All right. Where has the prince and their sheriff gone off to?
I think that. Should we ride or should we walk? What do you think?
Randolph is in favor of walking. Easier to feel the cobbles beneath our feet. And also, I mean, we can go through more streets like that.
Gonna walk around, look for interesting stuff. Gwyn is always a big fan of busy taverns. So he'll probably
Alright.
end up at one eventually.
Do you have a specific goal in mind for what you are attempting to achieve through this?
Just getting to know the city and the kind, honestly, kind of get a vibe for it.
Alright. In that case, we're probably looking for perception and empathy.
Whee!
Shall I make the roll as well, since I'm accompanying? I'm not the
You can.
most, shall we say, human-focused.
If you have the same goal, then you can.
Yeah.
And 7.
Oh, poor Randolph.
Standard difficulty.
These people seem tasty.
Mm.
That's my vibe.
That's what I would expect you. What I would expect you to get.
Alright. 2 successes. The vibe of the city is quite bustling. A lot of the people you get coming by are, merchants, some sailors, and many travelers. But there's also a surprising amount of locals, people that actually call the city their home, which is quite different to what you normally get in Peel, which is a lot of people coming in and leaving. This is probably the busiest place you've ever seen in your life. Which might not be saying much, because you've not been to a lot of big cities.
I mean, Gwyneth did a lot of traveling back in the day, so who knows?
Traveling around Wales, or like traveling around the entirety of
I mean, definitely got around the continent a bit as well.
then it's not as big as some of the bigger cities in England, and probably some of the bits of Wales that are more populated. Certainly the biggest city on the island.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got a bustling vibe.
No one's messing with a nobleman and an obviously very scary guard, so that's good.
Funny that.
Oh god, your dog face.
Yeah.
Hey, I got the scarf.
Right. Is there any other
I
specific
think-
things you're looking out for? Check.
Looking out for other Canites, obviously, and yeah. Where's the
Alright.
most happening place? Like, where's the party at tonight? Besides back at Elysium.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start busking?
He might. He might just want to hang out with a bunch of sailors and sing songs, you know?
Mm-hmm. Why don't you roll me a d10 and tell me high or low?
Oh man, not this again.
I believe in
gonna-
you.
Ay. So
But
I'm gonna say
rare
low.
occasion.
I'm gonna say low, and then it's gonna be high. Just watch.
Hey,
It's
on the low
medium.
side.
Medium. I will say, with a roll like that, do not find any other kindred crossing your path. Or canines.
Okay.
Mostly dealing with mortals and, drinking with sailors or drinking with sailors. But having a good time nonetheless. Sharing stories. The back and forth. Is there anything Randolph is during that time, or is he just keeping an eye out on the prince, playing bodyguard?
I'm just keeping my eye on the prince. The worst thing that can possibly happen is the prince getting attacked or otherwise subverted. So he's just got to make sure that nothing bad occurs. He's not the most sociable, and anything that he could do to investigate deeply would be a violation of the blood laws of Mithras.
Fair enough. Right then.
Yeah, Gwen is
Well-
just here to, find the party, make friends,
Mm-hmm.
and always keep an eye out for other Welshmen. 'cause,
No, the party prince.
Yep.
Yes. With that, we will cut back to Iris and Maud. What are you two doing in the Elysium? How are you spending your time?
I believe that Iris would be having conversations amongst people, that Maud would be listening in, either nearby or from far away.
Yeah, I think Maud is just kind of listening and seeing if there's anything in particular that catches her attention, whether it be in conversations
Make
either Iris is having or otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make me some perception and I think this will be perception and alertness or perception and empathy. Your choice.
Let's go with alertness.
Standard diff.
Yeah, standard diff. Awesome.
Just for Maud, yeah?
For both, actually.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Would,
talking to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I will accept
Oh, actually.
charisma
mind,
and
not my-
expression.
Standard diff for that one.
Yes.
Oh, success.
All right.
Oh, baby.
So for you, Irish, you're kind of listening about, and you can hear a lot of people talking. A lot of the conversation is around, oh, there's 2 princes on the Isle of Man. That's weird. This pretty much never happens. And there's a lot of people, kind of whispering about that and how's it going. With a lot of them being like, I thought this was Avalon territory. And goes, no, this is an island that doesn't belong to any specific covenants or agreements between elder Canaanites. And there's a lot of back and forth in that regard.
I think Iris would chime in with, things that she knows specifically about the history and her history on the council as her Father Collins's advisor.
Maud, you're able to listen in and hear a lot of conversations that are happening around the place. You actually hear a conversation from a group of people that Iris was talking to before Iris kind of moved along to another conversation. But listening in, you hear them go, Peel. That was the place that was ruled over by that Prince Collins. Do you know anything about him? No, I don't really know anything at all. In fact, he's always been kind of a mystery on the island. No, I don't trust mystery. Canaanites who hide themselves or their origins are often those that are, have some sort of great deception or some vile lineage that they're hiding.
To be clear, this happened after Iris left, right?
Yeah, after Iris left.
Okay, okay. Good, because...
No frenzy checks needed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There are also a couple of people that are talking about the arrival of Father Aurelio, who a lot of them are very much saying, what's a Lasombra doing here? Not just a Lasombra, but a Lasombra from the Lady of Shadows. We seem to be whispering about that, saying, what's he planning here? Is he here to make some sort of deal with the prince?
I guess I'm not from here. Good to know.
You also hear people talking about let me make sure I do this backwards.
For a brief moment, I heard cake, and
I mean, cake.
No.
I mean, Maud is here.
Yeah.
hey,
Very true.
I can't.
They specifically mention that the Furies, or the Furies, have been on the rise. And that they worry about that they will spread their influence to Peel. If you would like, you can make an intelligence politics, if you have politics.
I don't have politics. I
Then
don't
you
know.
cannot make the roll.
Awesome.
You just
I
hear them
do,
say
but
that.
I think this is just Maud overhearing
This is
it,
just
correct?
Maud. Maud can, of course, share the information with you, in which case you
Yeah.
would get a roll.
Yeah, I think that she
That is the
would
word they
relay. Oh yeah, Fures. I think she would relay that much to Iris, specifically just a bit about the Furies.
Iris, intelligence politics, difficulty 8. Actually 7.
Ooh.
3 successes.
3
Very
successes.
nice.
You have definitely heard of the Furies. The Furies themselves are a radical group of kindred who spend their time going around and...
Oh, there's absolutely a rat in my room. I'm very sorry. Have to take care of this.
No problem.
Oh no!
Damn it, Marana.
The Nosferatu.
Yes. They are very anti-establishment, anti-tyranny, and are looked at by most kindred as a group of outlaws and terrorists. So they spend a lot of their time attacking princes. And one of their biggest areas where they have operated is within the baronies of Avalon, causing trouble for the Lord of Light himself and his followers.
Yeah, Iris will relay all of that to Maud.
You've also
I'm
heard
so
that they
proud of
had a member amongst them who is known as the Robin.
Robin.
Robin?
Hmm. A nickname of some sort. Not certain if they have protein and change into birds, or that's a Christian name.
I'm not sure. But it's something to look out for, especially when it comes to Peel. Especially if they target princes.
Hmm. They never targeted Father Collins, as far as I'm aware. So maybe they only target ones who they feel are doing a poor job. We should probably warn our prince, just in case.
True. I think that's best.
So, Primogen. What did you think of that little nugget that was dropped on us?
I'm not sure. It might have been to give us more credibility as the council, but I don't think of myself as a primogen.
You're right. And it's unlikely, though I don't think unheard of or wrong, or specific bloodlines to be represented on a Primogen council.
Yeah. I don't know what they thought of that, but I'm not sure if it's certainly not traditional.
Quite so.
Once we get back, there are a few things I might want to talk to you about, but not here.
Here. Agreed.
I'll see what else I can find for now, but keep an eye out.
And she'll point out, Father Aurelio. Be careful of that one.
I will.
And then she'll nod and go off elsewhere.
Alright.
So, Maud.
Start
With that, we return back to Sir Oliver, as he is approached by Eloise once more. She says, "Those of what you've been requested has been taken care of."
It's much appreciated. Now, there's some place we can go for a little more private conversation.
Sure. Right this way. She leads
Thank
you
you.
to one of the rooms that are off to the side. Of course, Iris and Maud, you would see this.
I think Maud gives it a bit of a look and quirks an eye. It doesn't say anything.
Iris might just blush slightly and avert her gaze.
All right. With that, you are alone in a room. She looks to you.
Iris ships it.
So, I have a few questions, if you don't mind. And obviously, if something offends you, please feel no responsibility to answer. But you say you're of Clan Toreador. Where do you call home before here?
France, originally.
There's a nod, looking her over even more closely now that there's not other people to judge him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does the name Esma mean anything to you?
Esma. No, I wouldn't say it does.
No siblings, child or grandchild, or before you were brought into this life?
Not that I know of.
See, I was once married in my previous
see.
life. And you are the first and only one I've ever seen to make her match. And it's almost precisely her match. And it has me curious.
I must say you flatter me, my lord. Certainly have not heard that one before.
Well, I'm glad that it may please you a bit. And it was an awful long time ago, but I still feel her presence in my life.
I see.
And I'm sorry, you're just so much like her and striking.
There's no need to
I
apologize.
ask, well, if it would be permissible, I imagine we will be here at least one more evening. I would like to spend some time with you outside of the necessity of Elysium, if you can be permissive. I know you are the keeper here, but if you could maybe take an evening to just spend some time talking, it would be wonderful. Unfortunately, I have yet some business to do for both of our two cities.
I see. I shall see if I am able to make the time then.
Finally, do you happen to know I knew a Toreador from France by the name of Isabeau. Are you aware of her?
I'm afraid I am not.
And does any of this strike Oliver as being untrue?
You can make a perception and empathy. That is 5 dice, difficulty 6.
I will use my. I will use a willpower.
All right.
Nice.
3 successes.
+1, so 3. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You cannot tell. Her face is exceedingly hard to read. You do not know whether she is being honest, or as if she is lying.
Yep. Venture and Toreador. Yep. Yeah, I'll say, well, thank you, and please, again, do let me know. I look forward to our next meeting. Should it happen. And he smiles and gives a polite bow. And thank you for your time. I know how busy this job keeps you, and I appreciate it.
I thank you as well, Sir Oliver. Till we meet again.
Have a good evening, Elysium Keeper. And he will open the door for her.
That she would, not curtsying, she makes her way through the doorway and back into the Elysium proper.
Then, at that point, he'll make his way back to the main meeting to find Father. I can't remember his name.
Sebastian.
It was yes. That's
Sebastian.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks and goes, "Ah, I take it you are then ready to begin our drafting process?"
Yes. If it would please you.
Good then. I shall use my good stationery. Come. As he leads you away to a small office. And it is with that, we will end the session there.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
God, Drew, you are so good. That entire conversation, just like I could feel myself in that room, kind of.
The secondhand embarrassment. No.
And Mark, you bastard.
What are you
Never
talking
heard
about?
that one before.
You're fine.
I blame
With
the
that-
Toreadors.
Yeah. With that, we will do our outros in the following order, which is usual, the reverse of what we did the first time. Starting off with the lovely Rebecca.
Thank you so much. Well, I've had a lovely time tonight. Ran into some people from my past. Got to have a little bit of a chat. That was fun. I've played Sister Iris the La Sombra, and good night.
Alright. Next up, the lovely Mars.
Thank y'all. Yes, I am Mars, and I played Maud, the Aramane's Valkyrie, who just found out that that one weird guy she bumped into that one time was definitely someone who she probably should have like intercepted and not let run. Just fuck off.
This is a suspicious guy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just a little guy.
It's all fine. It's
Never
fine.
have to worry about little guys.
When crazy people come to my farm, I'm always shocked to find out they're Osama bin Laden.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm just gonna leave that there. Next
pro
up, the
crazy people.
lovely Drew.
Jesus, Thomas.
Give us your outro.
Oh. Apparently I'm lovely. I've never been called that. That's not one I've heard before. Hi, I'm Drew. I've been playing Sir Oliver in his actual habitat of politicking and being all, talky. So thanks for everybody for playing and for watching and everything else. It was a true pleasure.
Yay. Up next, the lovely Blue.
Hello, everyone. I am Blue, and I have been playing your party prince, Gwyneth, who hopefully can go out and have some fun for once instead of sitting in a council chamber and doing business stuff. Or, just get assassinated. Who knows? There's some folks running around. So we'll find out.
Indeed, we shall. And last, but certainly not least, our lovely Thomas.
Hello. I have been Thomas and will continue to be so. And I have been playing Sheriff Randolph, who got sniffed by another gangrel. And that's just how we say hello.
You smell wild.
I'm so wild.
Thank
Smell
you.
wild.
You look kind of freaky.
Smell freaky. And I have been Mark, aka your storyteller, aka the CatsMeow. I hope you've enjoyed this 9th episode of Isle of the Damned, and I hope you'll join us for more later down the track. If you have joined us live, thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the fun show that we put together. If you're watching this later on Twitch, please follow. Every follow helps us get towards our goals, and allows us to keep doing this and more stuff further down the line. Also, if you're watching on the YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you do like this this kind of stuff. If you want more, do all those stuff. And we also have a Discord that we use, the link to which is on the YouTube channel, and I believe somewhere on the Twitch channel main area. So click those links, which you'll be able to find on the channel itself, and join us. I hope you enjoy more fun vampire content. We also do Pendragon on Ticking Time Bob Gaming. You'll see many of our lovely faces. And yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope you're ready for a delicious journey into the dark depths of a vampiric morality as we see alliances forged, and we shall find out whether they shall be forged within words or forged in blood. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.